Hello and welcome back to Stationeers. I'm Mick, and today we're back in our good old Mars workshop here. We're going to have a bit of a build. Now, previously I've had some issues there with airlocks. I mean, I like building small bases, and occasionally if you have intersecting rooms, you've got to build like 3 airlocks. And you've kind of got to put an intersecting room in the middle of it there, which can give you troubles with atmospheres and venting and all sorts of things there. So, and it takes up a lot of space. Now, I like to build small bases, so sometimes you might just have an instance where you'd like an airlock with 3 doors in it. So if you have 3 rooms there and you've not got enough space, which I have done before, has been building a base there. I've wanted to join up a couple of rooms there and they've just not quite fit the way I wanted. So I've wanted an extra airlock, or wanted an extra door on my airlock, and I've not been able to do it. But there has been some updates to the game, well, a long time ago now, but I've finally got it back around to it. I think I can now create a 3-way airlock. So we shall need, well, if we've got a situation which is something like, well, basically, if you've got, situation like this, and we want to have a room over here, a room over here, or it doesn't necessarily have to be that, something, well, you know, well, figure it out. But we should be able to just put in doors. I'll have to use those ones. I want to be able to have an airlock that is something like that, so I can just push, go into that room, or into this room, or into this room, and the airlock will just work with 3. Of course, our standard airlock doesn't do that, so we're going to have to make a custom one. But anyway, I'll need somewhere to... Well, I've got to fit everything in there, don't I? Well, let's build up a bit of a fake airlock here. I'll need somewhere to put my vents and all my other devices, so let's just go with that. My lights turn out when it thinks I've left the room. Whoops. Oh well. Now I don't need to finish them up. I just need to have the doors working. Don't put them in there. They need them in your hand. 1, 2, 3 to get them going. And glass sheets I've got in my hand. Crowbar. Right, so got me doors. And I don't have much wall space. This is going to require some creative building. Wiring. Yeah, no, it doesn't really help, does it? It'll do. So I need a sensor in here, and need a chip. So I'll use a load batch or save batch named to actually read from everything, and I'm just going to have to name them. So that is going to be interesting. Yeah, and I mean interesting, and that's probably going to be a pain in the ass. I'll have to isolate the circuit because I don't want it activating every single airlock in the base. But that's always good practice to do that sort of thing anyway. Some pipes. Right, that's you, and you. Could I fit a 4th door into this one? Sure, why not? Right. Done. Now. Oh, shit. Oh. Well, that's going to cause need some creative wiring here, I think. I can go up there, but I can't get to it. I'll probably have to wire it underneath the floor. But let's just, instead of pulling up any floor, let's just go through the airlock. Okay, so we have 4 doors into an airlock, which should be able to just go to any room we want. And I've got to get wiring out of that. Power supply, no light. Wow, it's a proof of concept. Let's see how we go. Now I've got a sensor there. I've got me 4 doors, 4 vents. Let's see what we can do. Now I've got to wire it up, so I've got to get to my computer, which we can just temporarily just wire up however we like. Because hey, who's going to stop me? Okay, wired that one up. And yes, I had to do it neatly down the temporary wall. Don't look at that bit. The thing we've got to do with these ones is the doors have to be set into the right mode. Currently mode 0. We have to put it into the door. Composite door. Now these ones have a mode. 0 is normal mode and 1 is logic mode. So we've got to change them into logic mode before we can control them with logic. So that will be our first thing to do. So that should be pretty simple. So find door to you. And we should just save batch to the doors. Mode 1. Export you. Switch you on. The door should be in logic mode. Of course, the button now does nothing. Right, well, the button doesn't do nothing there, but if we switch this on, we see it has a setting. We push a button, it does nothing. But what it does actually do something. It's just that the door is open at the moment. So open is 1. When you push a button, the mode should go to what the door should go to. So it's saying setting set to 0, which means we should set our open to 0, which would be closing it. So if I do close that door, I can't while it's powered. I do that. Now the door is closed. Setting is 0. If I push the button, the setting should go to 1, telling us the door is supposed to open. Boop. And there it goes. Changes to 1. So all I have to do is write that value into the open of the door, and the door should be operating by logic, but on their own, as a normal door would. So I'd have to name all of them, won't I? Okay, I have named the doors, so we can refer to them via a named command. So I don't have to use pins for them all, because I'm going to have 4 doors and 4 vents and a sensor and whatever else we decide to put in there, and I just don't have enough pins for that. So we're going to call them by name. So I'm going to have to be able to switch those names. So I'm probably going to have to put them into I could create an array for it and then use indirect addressing. Or I can just chuck them all into the stack and read them from there. I think the stack might be the easiest way to do it. So we shall push Dash. Door 1. Oop. And yes, I put a lot of thought into those names. 2, 3, 4. And I just put a 0 in there to denote that that's reached the end of the stack. And we should be good. So now into our loop. I should be a load into... Oh, I'll have to put in a counter, won't I? Well, let's just temporarily get one working at a time, shall we? Now, all we should have to do, so that setting, we should just have to copy that straight back into the open to get that to work as a normal door. So we've got some code here. We have put in, we'll load batch named from the door 1, the setting. And it is taking the average because there should only be one of them, doesn't really matter what, but I've just taken the average. And we should save batch named back to the door 1 into the open. So whatever the open command is, that should be working as a normal door now, which it does. Push a button closes, push the button that opens, easy peasy. The other ones, of course, haven't been set up. So that's the way the doors work. So now the setting doesn't get reset. So if I close that door via logic, the setting won't be changed to update to the new one. So that's a bit of a trap. So if I was to use a button somewhere else to close that, the setting would still be on 1, which would immediately want to open the door again. So we don't want to do that. So you will have to find a way to copy the setting to all the doors. So I've got to figure out a way to find out which button's been pressed. It'll close one airlock and open the other one. It has to know which one it's going to and which one it's coming from. Now I found that from previous ones here, I found the easiest way to build an airlock script is to start your script with all the doors closed. So if I can't do that, it's powered. So if all the doors are closed, the next step is to pick a door with its matching vent, pressurize the airlock, open the door, wait till another button's been pushed, then it will close this door, depressurize it, and then go to the other one. So you're really only dealing with one vent and one door in your script. So we just need to sort of start our script with a depressurization or a repressurization and then open the door. We need to wait for an input from one of the buttons, then close the door, event, and switch to the other one and restart the script. So what we're going to do is get rid of you. Sorry, you've served us well. Now, so what we're going to want to do is repressurize the base and open the door. We shall need to wait for input. Then we shall need to close the door. And we shall need to depressurize the base. And then back to the start. So we can probably get rid of you. Well, I guess we're going back to the repressurization, aren't we? So repress there. We'll get rid of you. So repressurizing the base. I've got them around the wrong way, haven't I? No. Yes, we're repressurizing the room. Opening the door. Close the door, depressurize. Back to the new one. So we have to then change to the new door. So change to new door will have to be done there. comment. So I need to repressurize. So we'll need to be checking the pressure up here. We need to know what pressure to get it to. So how do we do that? I could specify it, or we could put a sensor on the outside and check from that. A sensor, maybe. So now we just got to open the door. That's easy. Now wait for input. So we're going to have to check the buttons. Check the doors. And we're going to have to find out which one has had a button pushed. Okay, check for new input. Now we're keeping this, once we know which door we're going to, we want to close the current doors. We're not changing to the new door till down here. Then we go back to the start and start the cycle over again. Now if the door repressurization, we might want to put in an abort up here. Ash. We'll put in wow. An abort up here. So if you go into the airlock without your suit, you just turn around, push the button and get back out again. So that'll be just a matter of, we're repressurizing it. So we're actually pressurizing the airlock. So we're starting with a closed door. If you want to skip the repress, so script. Oh, I can't write anything. Skip the repress. We just, I'll just be a straight branch down to the next one there to open the door straight away. So down here, if we want to abort, we get in, the door closes and starts to depressurize. We haven't got our space or spoot on. We want to have an abort one there, which will just be abort, which would just be sort of just a branch straight back to nothing is working today. Come on, fingers. Branch back to the open the door. Is there anything else we want to put in there? That'll just be a straight branch to open door. Right, so down here we can go straight back to open door because we haven't changed to the new door yet. So if we want to abort, it'll just reopen the door we've just come from. So we need to make sure we do that either at the end or just at the start. Probably doesn't really matter. We might even put that up the top there. Because we've still got to find out what it is. We want to know which door we're in. Change the new door. I've still spelled it wrong. Abort and back to the start. Alright, is that all we need to do? We need to find out what door we've got to open. We shall pressure, so the airlocks, all the doors are closed. Find out which door we want to go to. Check. So we're going to pressurize the room, open the door, and have to wait here for more input. Then we close the current door, depressurize, and switch to the new door. That kind of makes sense to me. Now we're going to have to find out which door we're going to by finding which one of these has been pressed. So let's just see if we can get the doors working first. So we'll need to know which one has been pressed. So I'm going to have a loop here to check through all of the doors and find out which one has been pressed. It doesn't need to check the one that's currently open. So I'll probably need to know which door is currently open. So we'll probably need some variables for that. So alias the current door. Oh. Alias the current door to I don't know, R10, and alias the new what the hell? New door to R11. So we'll need to know both of them. So I suppose the first thing this thing's got to do is we'll probably have to put in a setup command here where it finds what the current door is open. But we'll worry about that later. Where we'll just sort of say shall move. Come on, fingers. Current to, we'll just set it to door 1. Okay, so we are going to change the new door. Well, we'll just set it up. So we don't even need to know that. We just need to know what the new door is going to be. New door will be 1. I change the current door. So I might even need another one there. Alias the door to R12 because I'm going to read that from the stack. So we shall move into the stack pointer, new door, and then we shall peek into the door. So we'll set the stack pointer to the right one, and then it will pull the name of the door out of the stack, which should really be our changing to the new door. Due to there, due to there. Right, so that's how we change the new doors. We're just changing the name of the door that we're operating with. So I'll repressurize it. We're not going to worry about that at the moment. So we'll open the door. So we shall save batch named to the, it is a door. It is named lowercase door, just to not confuse everyone. Open, we want to open the door to 1. Wait for input and closing the door, or just be a save batch name to door, named door, open 0. And that should handle that. You've got to wait for input. So now it's going to have to go into a loop, check all of the doors, see which one of them has had a button pushed. Now we're not worried about the current door. Okay, so we're going to have to say, wait for input. So we shall add one to the stack pointer, peek into R0. If R0 is 0, I need to go back to reset it to 0. Set R1 if R0 is equal to 0. I'll have to do 2 things. I'll have to set the stack back to 0, and I will have to branch. So branch relative, I can just do that above me here. Okay, so we shall just branch relative equal to 0. Right. So if R0 equals 0, let's say not equal to 0, not equal to 0. So if R0 is not equal to 0, everything's fine. It hasn't reached the end of the stack. So we can say skip the next I'll skip 3 lines because I'm going to want to move, reset my stack pointer, and then jump to, wait for input. Right, so that should just scroll through, continually scroll through the scroll through the list of doors we've got there. Now we want to test if the button has been pressed. So the doors should be closed. So our input should be 1. So load into R0. Let's not use R0. Load into R1 because I'll need to keep R0. Load batch named into R0 from the door. Door named door. No, that's not going to work. So I'll need to... I've peeked the name of the door into R0. Wow, this is getting complex. We want to know the setting, and we shall take the average. Can I read them all? If I read them all, none of the buttons have been pressed. One should be open, so we should get an average of 0.25. If another button's been pressed, it won't be equal to that, will it? That might be an easier way of doing it. Then once it equals 0.5, it means another door's been pressed. If I've got 3 doors, that'll mess everything up, won't it? Oh, how do I make this universal? So waiting for input, we can say our move new door. Right, so if we set our new door to 0, which means nothing's been pressed, then we can go through, change our stack pointers. Right. So now we've just got to check the doors, make sure it's not the current one, and find if any of them have been set to 1. So we know our current door, which is door, so we can ignore that one and find another one. Okay, so I need to say, so if the door setting is 0, door should be closed. So branch equal to 0 on R1. So if it is equal to 0, just go back to the go back to waiting for input. Okay, let's move my comment back up here so I've got that in the right spot. Get rid of it. Alright, so if it's equal to 0, the door should be closed. Just go and check the next one. If it's not equal to 0, it means it's either the current door or a button has been pressed. So so we've loaded the name of the door into R0. So if R0 equals door, it's the current door. So we shall say branch equal. So if R0, which is the door we're looking at, equals the door that's currently open, forget about it. Go look at the next door. If we're still here, a button has been pressed. So we say, so new. So whatever we've got in the stack pointer is the new door we want to go to. So we should move into a new door. Stack pointer. So close the current door. Go back to the... We don't go back to the start. Yes, we go back to the start. We set the new door. And we're good. Oh, it's already going to be set to the new door. Okay. Okay, that's not working. Because all the doors are open. So they're all going to be set to... This is what I said, we're going to have to find out a way to get this started. All the settings are going to be set to 0. So I've got to change the settings. I've locked myself in. Right, so that was the issue we have with the settings not setting themselves. Yep. Ah! Oh shit, did that work? Huh! It does work. What? Ah, I'm stuck. Okay, so there's an issue with so when we open the door, I am going to have to set all of the, if I just batch them all to closed, that might be a better way of doing it. If I open the door, I can just save batch, save batch named. And that's the save batch to the door, the setting, change that to 0. Same when we open the door. So we save a batch to the door setting 1. Export. Current one does nothing. That's all right. We're not getting that jiggle backwards and forwards. Okay, so it looks like it's selecting the doors correctly. Okay. So that wasn't so bad. So it knows which doors to do. So now my repressurization and depress should just be... I have to use a vent. So I have to depressurize. And just wait for it to wait for the pressure to get to 0. And a repressurization, it'll just have to we'll have to set a pressure somewhere. Okay, so to depressurize, now I can use the save batch name, but I'll have to name the vent the same as the door. So where this is called door 1, my corresponding vent, I am also going to have to call door 1. Yeah. To door 3 and door 4. And I should probably put a roof on there. That's not going to work, is it? Okay. And better grab a spacesuit. So now I've just got to save batch name to the vent. We've got the sensor. We shall... if I have these reading from external sensors, I just want to batch that one as well. I could. So I shall need to define the vent onto active vent. I'm currently using a small one. BU. That's not the kit. That is the kit. Not the kit. The vent. Almost fell into that trap again. So vent. U. And define the sensor to Gas sensor. Kit. Gas sensor. Right. So to depressurize, I've got to have my abort in there. Save batch named. We want to save to the event, which is called door, just to confuse things. Mode, it is depressurizing, so it is sucking out, which is mode 1. Save batch named. Event on 1. Oh, event name door. Switch it on, and I just now need to check the sensor. It'll have to be a sensor called airlock, won't it? Because the external ones will all have different names. Airlock sensor. Okay, so we shall load into R0. I can reuse R0 now. Load batch named into R0 from the sensor. Yep. Airlock sensor. I should want to know the pressure, and just grab the average because there should only be one of them. And we shall set less than, set not equal to 0. Not equal to 0. So if the pressure is not equal to 0, not equal to 0, get it right. So set R0. If R0, if the pressure is not 0, go back to depress. That's all we want to do. So I want to wait in there for a little bit. So I'll chuck a yield in, if I can spell it right. So I'll need to wait a little bit, then read it again, and keep going until it's done. Now I will need to make sure I put my depress. So I still want to have my abort in there. So if the button on door gets pressed again, I skip back to open the door. But what will the button be saying? So depress and go to the next door. Okay. Export that. Now I'll grab my spacesuit because it's going to depressurize the room. I probably could have just put it to a different
Oxygen critical
pressure, but I didn't. Oh, I probably better wait for the door to close too. Oh, and I better switch the vent off again. Yep, that might be something to do. So wait a bit longer. Then I want to copy you, put you into there, and switch the vent off. That might be handy. Depress, just to put a yield in. We'll close the door and put in a yield there to allow the door to close. Okay. Whoops. Something's going wrong. Whoops. Okay, so maybe I need to start by saying save batch to door open 0. And probably switch the vents off. And save batch vent on 0. Oh, nope. Nope. Oh, wait a minute. It was. Okay. That was cycling. That's why it wasn't doing anything. Push that should do nothing. Push that. Depressurize to 0. And probably put another yield in there. And push you. It doesn't do a repress. Hey, hang on. Why didn't you switch on? Oh, you don't switch on. That's right. Now you switch on because we're only depressurizing. And you open up. Excellent. Switch you. You switch on. You open up. Okay, so that is working. So I now need to repressurize. I can check a sensor. Do I want to? Oh, let's not worry about the sensor just yet. So pressurize. So we should basically want to do the same things back the other way round, won't we? So save batch named the vent name door setting to inward. I think that's what it is, isn't it? Vent, I don't think we've ever set one to inward. Active vent. It is just, yeah, inward outward. Yeah, that's right. Save batch name event door door on 1, and we shall want to yield, and we just now want to check. Let's take it to 50 kilopascals. Set less than. We'll probably want to load it first, won't we? Load batch named from into R0 from the sensor. It was airlock sensor. Copy you. The pressure, and now let's grab the average. Should only be 1. So we say set less than if the pressure is still less than. No, branch less than. Branch less than. If R0 is less than, we'll say 50 kilopascals, go back to repress. So I should keep doing that until we get back to 50 kilopascals. Then it drops out to here, which we want to switch that vent off. I wanted a yield, didn't I? That's what we wanted on the last one. And yield. Right. Okay. So we set to 1 as we set it there. Put it to U. We've depressurized. Why didn't you set your mode? Well, it's very slow. Okay, why didn't the mode change? I really want that abort button now. Maybe I might change that down to about 10 kilopascals just for testing. Yeah, get to 50 and away we go. So why didn't you change your mode? Vent mode. Why did I put setting? Right, so let's change you to 10. Right, so now I go to you. Go. You evacuate. Repress from you, which we are now. So it gets to 10. And opens the door. Right. That is doing what we want it to do. So is that all working properly now? Nice. So if I take out one of those doors, it should still work just with a 3-door one as well. Okay, so repress. So what that door, we want to know what value that door is so we can do our abort sequence into it. So you. So our setting is 1. Oh, you have been set back to 0. Okay. So when we push the button, the setting is 1. Okay, so how does it know if I push the button again? How am I going to do that? Okay, I've had a cup of tea and a banana, so I've had a time to think about it. Now, when I close the door, I set the setting to 1, which means if you push the button, all the doors are closed, but if I push the button, the setting will change to 1, so I won't know if it's ever been pushed. So that one should be setting to 0. Instead of door to open to 0, all the doors setting to 0. So now if I push the button, that should change to 1. So if we do that, we should be good. Setting is 1, setting is 0 on you. I push that button, the setting is still on 0. If I push the button again, it goes to 1. Right. So now I have just got to check for when that setting goes to 1, and I can do my abort sequence in there. Oh, I do my skip sequence is what we were working on, wasn't it? So we are in the repressurization, which was up here. So we want to skip the repressurization. So on here, load an R0, wait a bit longer. Now we shall also come into here. We shall load a batch named into R0 from the door called door, and we shall want the the setting and average. Oh, come on. A cup of tea didn't fix my spelling. So load into there. So I'll need to have my clean up. So I'll need to switch the vent off and go down here. So we'll just call it an abort as a marker there. So set equal branch equal, if R0 equals 1, abort. So if I push the button, the setting on the door will go to 1, which point we won't check the pressure. We'll just shut off the vent and then open the door. We're happy with that. We're good. Right. So now if I push that, we depress. Now I should be able to push this again. Switches the vent off straight away and lets us out. Right. So now I should be able to do the same thing for the abort on the closed door. Depressurization. So I could just jump straight back to abort up here, because we want to shut off the current vent, because it will not, because it doesn't switch to the new door until we go back to start. So if I come down to here, because we're still using the current named one, so we're waiting for the pressure to drop, so we shall load batch named into R0 from the door, named door, the setting average, we shall say branch equals, so if R0 equals 1, abort. Right, so that should be you. So go up there, that'll switch the vent off and open the current door. Right, so I say you, depressurizing, push that, it aborts and takes us out to there. Hasn't messed everything up, that was good. I push that one again, it should just skip through the repress. There we go. So that is all working. Okay, so what did we want to do? Check new. I got sensors. So if we've got, because if we've got different spaces there, we might have different pressures and stuff in each room. So I can manually probably add pressures to the stack, or I could just put some sensors. So if I put some sensors like outside each of these doors, I should be able to read from them what the pressure is outside. Putting it right next to the vent is a bad idea, but I've done it. So now it works from this side too. Good. Hadn't checked that, but I'm glad it does. You into there. Yeah. You there. You there. Excellent. Now, once again, I'll have to name these the same as the door. So you should be door 1. And door 2. Door 3. And door 4. So we've already got the sensors there and we've got the current door name, so we should be good to go. So instead of hard wiring that one there, I guess I'll have to load it, won't I? So a load batch named into R1. So we've loaded the indoor one, the sensor named door, which is the one outside, the pressure and average. So we change you to R1. It should now take the pressure from outside the door and try and pressurize to that, which will take a while. Well, let's see how we go. You vacuum it out, and you should try and get back to the 100 kilopascals that we had eventually. I could put an active vent on the outside as well. That'll speed up the airlock. But how would I be able to... Oh, well, there we go, did it. Now if I put an active vent out here, it would have to be named door 4 as well. So how could I speed it up with that? One will have to be set to inward and one would have to be set to outward. If I use a large vent outside, that sounds like a burst of pipes. We'll deal with that another day. Okay, so we got our skip, our abort. We got our abort on that one there. We've done that one, and that's just our setup. Change the new door. That's it. A 3-door airlock. Well, 4-door. If I take out one of the doors or add more in, it should still work. Nice if I get a light. Can I get a light in there? Now, I think I can wire across the top of these doors. I can. So I could take that out and wire it up differently. My base should be sealed. Oh, well, that wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. Thank you. You go down under there. There we go. Nice. That should all be wired up again. And quite neatly. Right, so now I can put a light in there. I might put in a, what do they call them? The diode slide. I remember them. I haven't used one of them for a while. So that will give me a progress indicator. I want to put the sensor up there. Put that on the floor. Come in here. When you're on your phone, you'll be able to see that it's still working. Right. So now we shall have the... I could put that to a pin. Yes. Why not? Let's just keep going with the batch ones. Define diode slide. Well, that had a setting. Yes, I think the setting was what we wanted. To set how set it is. Right, so we want you. So when it is pressurizing, I can put into there. So we've got the current pressure and I know the pressure outside. So I can just sort of say divide R2 equals the pressure outside, which is R1, divided by the current pressure, which is R0. And I can save batch to the diode, the setting R2. Okay. It's not working. Oh, it was on the repress. I've got that back to front, haven't I? So I want the current pressure divided by the other. Yep, I know that. So here's the current pressure inside the airlock divided by the total pressure, which is that way around there. Otherwise, it's back to front. Right. That's on the repress. And it's repressurizing. Nice. We put that on the depressurization as well. So I shall need to copy that one because I'll need that as well on the depress. So we load the pressure inside the airlock, pressure outside the airlock, and R2 equals the pressure inside the airlock divided by the pressure outside, which is the total pressure, and shall save batch to the diode setting R2. Okay. And pressure down. And repress. Don't do that. Right. I suppose I can switch it on. Save batch to the diode on 1. And once it's finished there, abort. Save batch to the diode on 0. And probably do it down here on the depressurization. Save batch to the diode on 1. And at the end of it, save batch to the diode on 0. Okay. Light comes on, depressurizes, and repressurizes, and abort. There we go. Out. Right, airlock is working. The aborts work. Well, everything works. Oh, well, okay. So I have a multi-door airlock. I could put a little bit at the start, which will, I could put a little thing in here to skip to a loop like we've got down here. I could put that up the start here, and it will find out which door is open and set that as the default. Yeah, that's good enough. I'll do that. I could do that later, but I think that's working. Ooh, could I do this in a passage? I mean, what happens if I have two doors the same name? So if it's like a passage down here with two rooms either side, I don't have enough space for an airlock. I mean, what happens if I name these two like passage? I mean, it should work. Okay, let's give it a go. Passage. Well, I've used an average on the sensors, so that should work. Passage. Okay, switch you off. So I took out door 2 and door 4. So you should just be able to call you passage and get rid of you. Right, still one. If I take the passage, depressure, both of these vents should come on. And it opened both doors. Should close both of them. Two vents to evac. And yeah. Why didn't it depressurize my passage? It skipped that. Okay, figured it out. Not the code. I forgot to rename the sensors outside. So it was getting a 0 whenever it queried them. Right. So now they should be working. So my passage. Okay, so it did. So that actually worked on it there. So, which means it was good. Bought that one. So now if we want to go back to the passage, it should repressurize. Which it is. Ha ha. Oh, okay. Can I spray paint that? Oh, I can. Cool. Excellent. Well, that was handy. That works as a passage. It works as a 4-way airlock. Works as a 3-way airlock. It'll work as a 2-way airlock. You just need to name the sensor, the vent, and the door all the same thing. And I could have the airlock take up an extra square and have it put six passages on it. I could put multiple vents in here as long as they're all named door 1. They will all operate when door 1 operates because they're batch named. Cool. Well, I think that has pretty much done it. Okay, I have a 3-way airlock. I've kind of designed on my basis so I don't need them now, but in the event that we do need it, I've got it. Anyway, that's about it from today. So till next time, happy building. See ya.